Hi, welcome to Beyond Budget. Bmax is a Chinese laptop manufacturer, emerged in 2019 and has since introduced multiple laptop models. The Bmax X14 Pro, released in 2021, is one of their latest additions. Bmax has gained recognition for delivering reliable and solidly built laptops. Inside the Bmax X14 Pro you will find an AMD Ryzen 5 3450U processor, 8GB of DDR4 RAM, a 512GB of solid-state drive and an AMD Radeon Vega 8 integrated graphics. Before we go further into the review, please make sure to watch till the end of the video, and the link for the laptop is available in the description below, so make sure to check it out for more detail and the current price. The 14-inch Bmax X14 Pro subnotebook follows in the footsteps of the 11.6-inch MacBook Y11 convertible, which launched 3 years ago. Both are budget models in their respective categories, designed to have more attractive aluminum profiles than competing models in the same price range. Weighing 2.87 pounds or 1.3 kilograms, the Bmax X14 is quite portable. The design of the Bmax X14 Pro is visually appealing, giving the impression of a high-end laptop at first glance, reminiscent of many chewy laptops. However, upon closer inspection, its design flaws become evident. While the chassis may look sturdy, it lacks the robustness of premium laptops such as the Dell XPS, HP Spectre, or Asus ZenBook. When held, the metal chassis tends to flex and creak more easily, indicating potential durability concerns. Notably, the corners of the base, keyboard center, outer lid, and hinges demonstrate moderate levels of twisting. This compromises the overall structural integrity of the laptop. Despite its seemingly premium appearance, the X14 Pro's design fails to match the sturdiness expected from a laptop that could command a price higher than $500. Comparatively, the build quality of the Bmax X14 Pro does not surpass that of cheaper models like the Asus VivoBook or Lenovo IdeaPad 314, which primarily utilize plastic materials. When it comes to connectivity, the Bmax X14 Pro offers a satisfactory range of ports. On the right side of the laptop, you'll find a microSD reader, a 3.5mm combo audio jack, and a USB-A 3.0 port. The left side houses a USB-A 3.0 port, an AC adapter port, an HDMI 2.0 port, and an SD card reader. While the inclusion of these ports caters to various connectivity needs, there are a couple of drawbacks to be aware of. The first one is the Bmax X14 doesn't feature a USB Type-C port. The second one is the microSD reader, though spring-loaded, tends to provide slow transfer rates. Additionally, inserting the microSD card upside down may be a bit counterintuitive, and ejecting it can prove to be a challenging task. The Bmax X14 Pro's keyboard has backlit keys. The keyboard offers slightly deeper key feedback and travel compared to Lenovo IdeaPad laptops. However, there is a noticeable inconsistency in key feedback uniformity, with certain keys feeling spongier than others. This issue is particularly prominent with the Space key, which significantly impacts the typing experience on the Bmax. While the overall keyboard performance is decent, the uneven key feedback detracts from the overall satisfaction. On the other hand, the Bmax X14 Pro features a reasonably large precision-enabled click pad, measuring 11.5 by 2.87 inches or 11.5 by 7.3 centimeters, which surpasses the 4.1 by 2.7 inches or 10.5 by 7 centimeters touchpad found on the Lenovo IdeaPad 5 Pro 14. Unlike some chewy laptops, the click pad on the Bmax X14 Pro is reliable and does not suffer from cursor jumping issues. The Bmax features a 720p webcam positioned on the top bezel. However, the image quality from the webcam tends to be noisy, lacking the clarity and sharpness of higher-end models. If you frequently engage in web conferencing or online chatting, you may find it necessary to invest in an additional webcam to achieve better image quality. Furthermore, it's worth noting that the Bmax webcam lacks support for Windows Hello, a feature that enables secure facial recognition login. The Bmax laptop features rear-facing speakers, which sets it apart from most other laptops that have front-facing speakers. When it comes to audio performance, the speakers deliver a maximum volume that is reasonably loud, which is a positive aspect. However, the bass reproduction is subpar, resulting in a lack of depth and richness in the low-frequency range. Despite this drawback, the decently loud maximum volume can compensate to some extent for the lacking bass. The Bmax X14 Pro features a display that utilizes the BOE IPS panel, which is also found on other laptops like the Lenovo ThinkPad E14 and IdeaPad S540. However, it's important to note that this panel falls into the budget category and comes with certain limitations in terms of color coverage, response times, and contrast. According to X-Rite measurements, the panel exhibits limited color coverage and contrast, as well as slow black to white and gray to gray response times. When it comes to outdoor visibility, the display's backlight, with a brightness of less than 300 nits, provides relatively poor to average performance at best. It's advisable to disable AMD Very Bright under the Radeon graphics menu to avoid the maximum brightness dropping to just 166 nits when running on battery power. In terms of specific measurements, the maximum brightness reaches 289.3 nits, with an average of 266.6 nits. The brightness distribution is 87%, indicating a relatively even distribution across the screen. The contrast ratio for the Bmax is well off the good range of 1000 to 1, with the Bmax measured at 571 to 1. Color accuracy, as indicated by Delta E values, shows a slight deviation, with Delta E color at 4.93 and Delta E grayscale at 2.4. The display covers 41.7% of the Adobe RGB color space, 59.2% of the sRGB color space, and 40.4% of the display P3 color space. This results indicate the Bmax X14 is not suitable for color-critical work or tasks demanding color-accurate outputs. In terms of performance, the Bmax X14 performs well for the price. However, the AMD Ryzen 5 3450U is an older CPU released in 2020. It features 4 Zen Plus cores and 8 threads, with a base clock speed of 2.1 GHz and a turbo clock speed of up to 3.5 GHz. It is paired with a Radeon RX Vega 8 integrated GPU, which has 512 shaders clocked at up to 1200 MHz. The raw multi-thread performance of the Ryzen 5 3450U is comparable to the 11th Gen Core i3-1115G4, while its single-thread performance is slower and more similar to the 10th Gen Core i5-1035G1. It's worth noting that AMD's mobile Zen series didn't achieve significant performance improvements until the Zen 2 generation. As a result, the Zen Plus Ryzen 5 3450U can only be compared to lower-end Intel Core CPUs. While the performance of the AMD Ryzen 5 3450U is capable enough for basic office computing tasks and light photo or video editing, it may not be suitable for demanding tasks such as large-file photo editing or rendering. The integrated Radeon RX Vega 8 GPU also has limited gaming potential, as it is an entry-level GPU that competes with NVIDIA's MX150 in terms of performance. However, it may be able to run older or less demanding games at low to medium settings and resolutions. Furthermore, the Bmax X14 Pro is equipped with a non-upgradable 8GB of DDR4 RAM. This RAM configuration is capable of efficiently handling multiple Chrome tabs while running background applications. However, due to its relatively smaller capacity and lack of upgradability, it might face challenges when dealing with large file editing or graphic-intensive tasks, as well as demanding photo or video editing tasks. On the storage front, the Bmax X14 Pro comes with a spacious 512 GB of solid-state drive. This storage solution offers several advantages, including shorter boot times, swift data transfer, and enhanced bandwidth. With the SSD, you can expect quicker system startup and faster access to your files and applications, ultimately improving overall responsiveness and productivity. Unfortunately, the Bmax X14 Pro's memory is not upgradable, which is a limitation in terms of upgradability. However, the solid-state drive can be upgraded, and there is a convenient small hatch on the bottom panel for quick access to the internal M.2 2280 SSD bay. It's important to note that the M.2 SATA 2280 slot is available for upgrading, but it does not support NVMe drives. The Bmax X14 Pro laptop has a 55 Wh high-capacity battery. The battery life depends on how you use the laptop. On constant web browsing, the battery runtimes are pretty good at approximately 6.5 hours on a full charge. Charging from empty to full, however, is relatively slow at 3.5 hours compared to only 1.5 hours on most other Ultrabooks. Before we conclude, we must mention why you should and shouldn't buy this laptop. Buy this laptop if you want good value for money. Buy if you want a sleek and attractive design with an aluminum profile. Buy if you want a decent selection of ports including USB-A, HDMI, and a 3.5mm audio port. Buy if you want a reasonably large and reliable touchpad with 2-level white backlight. Buy if you want a speakers that can play relatively loud, providing a decent audio experience. Buy if you want a laptop that utilizes an IPS display panel for better viewing angles. Buy if you want a high-capacity 55 Wh battery offering good battery life. Buy if you want a backlit keyboard. Don't buy this laptop if you want a laptop that doesn't flex and creak easily, lack rigidity. Don't buy if you want upgradable RAM, with certain keys being spongier than others. Don't buy if you want good image quality from your laptop's webcam. Don't buy if you want a good color space coverage for color-critical task or good contrast. Don't buy if you want a good gaming performance with the latest AAA titles. Don't buy if you want a USB Type-C port. Don't buy if you don't want slow charging rate. Overall, the Bmax X14 is a budget-friendly laptop with a fast AMD Ryzen 5 CPU, making it a standout choice in its price range. Its appearance gives the impression of a more expensive device compared to other cheap models. However, it does have some drawbacks common to chewy laptops, including uneven key feedback and a less sturdy chassis. The display also falls short with only 59% sRGB coverage. If you prioritize performance and portability at a low cost, the Bmax X14 Pro is a good option. But for better color accuracy and reliability, investing in mid-range Ultrabooks from established brands like Lenovo or HP may be worth considering.